everybody. It is New Year's Eve, and I am here to talk a little bit about the 2019 year. Wanted to go over a few things that happened this year, the good things, the bad things, the things that I accomplished, the things that I didn't accomplish, and then just kind of talk about going into this new year. I mean, it's a whole new era. We all have this chance to kind of reset and make some goals and plans for ourselves and then really try and make them happen. Um, so, yeah, let's get right into it. Got my wine, I got my list. Let's go. So, this year was an especially rough year. My family had gone through some really crazy shit. If you do not know or follow me on Instagram or anything, then you probably don't. But my brother was hit by a drunk driver last year, the weekend before Christmas. And so a good majority of this year has been spent dealing with the repercussions of that accident. It's been kind of crazy. My brother, obviously, has dealt with the brunt of it. Um, but we all have to live with him and deal with him, and the shit that he's had to go through isn't easy. The fact that he's done as well as he has is pretty amazing, and the fact that he's still with us is a blessing. So we're all really, really glad that we've had another year with my brother, because that could have very easily not been the case, but we've had to deal with a lot. It's been a crazy year. So that's been the negative thing that's really led to the majority of anything negative that's happened. Um, that's a whole other situation. I'm not going to get into detail on that. But yeah. Other than that, there have been some good things. So I figured I'm going to try and focus on the good things more than the bad. That was the big bad thing. That ended up being a lot of the stress from this year. So moving on to the good things. So along with the bad things, a couple of really fun, good things happened this year. That including some traveling, some baby announcements, meeting some new friends, and a promotion at work. Let's start with the traveling. That was something I really wanted to do this year. It was on my list of goals for 2019. I had it specifically listed to take more trips, more weekend trips, small trips, just little trips to go places. I also on that list had to take at least one trip by plane. I really wanted to either go to New York or California, and then in the end, I ended up hitting both, which I did not expect to do. I originally planned for a couple small trips, one of them being to Columbus. My brother and I took a road trip to Columbus to see Catfish and the Bottlemen, where he went and saw a hockey game. I went and saw Catfish and the Bottlemen. I really love them. I think they're really fun live. I've been listening to them for years. They were first played on Radio X, which I listen to quite often in the UK. I love those boys. So I had planned to go with a couple friends. They backed out the week before. So I said, screw it, I'm still going. I got a hotel room. My brother, he got some tickets to a hockey game, and we just took a road trip for the weekend. It was a lot of fun. The show was great. Columbus is actually a really cool city. That I actually think I might go back to eventually. They had some really cool restaurants and some really fun places to walk around and see. It was nothing like Chicago or anything like that. I mean, after the show was over, my brother and I left a restaurant after the hockey game. It was dead. There was 2 people on the street. It was so dead. But during the day, it's a really cool area to walk around. And I would actually really like to go see Columbus again. I think it'd be cool. I got some really delicious vegan food while I was there. Some pizza. A really good breakfast the morning that we left. Just outside of Columbus. I can't remember the name of the place. But it was delicious food and really cool people. Really cool place. If you haven't been to Columbus, I will recommend it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The big trip. So IMX announced their Mile Deep Hollow Tour early on this year, I had been waiting for months, trying to plan my life around IMX shows. I always go to Chicago. Every time I play Chicago, I go. So that was a no-brainer. I was going to Chicago. I was going to go see the show. It was going to be amazing. I love it. And then I really wanted to go see the show in California. I was like, I want to hit a California show. I really want to do it. I really want to go to California this year anyway. So I should just do it. But then they announced a second New York show. One in Manhattan, one in Brooklyn. So I figured it would be more beneficial and cost effective for me to go to New York. I booked a hostel. I bought tickets to both shows, both of the pre-show gatherings and the one in Chicago. And I made it happen. I was like, I'm going to New York. This is going to be great. I met amazing people. I was there. I met a girl named Sarah who had come in from Australia. She was at the show in Manhattan the night before by herself. And the way she kept referring to it was I adopted her that night. She was by herself. I was by myself. I didn't really know everybody. I knew a few of the people from online and chatting through Facebook groups, but nothing where I was really comfortable talking to them as a friend or as an acquaintance. But me and her just clicked right away. And we ended up hanging out afterwards. We went and got a couple beers and hung out and got to know each other. She was really, really great, and I think she totally won the award for traveling this time. I think she said she lost like a couple days traveling to New York from Australia. And then the next day her husband came to the show, and I met him, and he was a really, really nice guy. And I got to meet several other people. Like I said, I got to meet those people and get formally acquainted with the people that I met through the Facebook groups. And they were all really great. I had a lot of fun. I met some fun people. The gatherings were super insightful, and just really, really intimate, and a whole other side of like Chris and Janine. It was amazing. I loved that trip. I got to explore New York on my own. I think that was the biggest thing, was I went on this whole trip by myself, which is something outside of Chicago and Michigan and Wisconsin. Like, I hadn't really been on a trip in years. So going on this trip by myself was a lot of fun, and I got to do anything I wanted to do. In New York, I got to check a couple of restaurants off my bucket list that I'd been wanting to try. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. The shows were incredible. I'll probably insert a little clip of a show here. Tons of pictures, like thousands of pictures, I swear. Quite a few videos. Like I said, I will insert those here so you can see little snippets, because they were amazing. It was the best trip ever. So good. I am terrified. I drink too much. York. It was amazing. I came back to work in serious depression mode because it was over. I didn't want it to be over. Then everybody was talking about the LA show. Everybody I pretty much met at the other shows, most of them are going to the LA show. Then they announced that Liam Howe, who was in the Sneaker Pimps to Chris, was going to be there, and they were doing all this filming for the documentary that he's working on. I had a serious case of FOMO. I will say that. I was freaking out internally. Like, I felt like I had to be there. I couldn't deal with the fact that I was not going to be at the LA show. I had to do it. And by some miracle, I did it. I don't know how I did it. I managed to convince my dad to loan me like $400 for plane tickets until I got paid that day. I literally went to California with no money. I had no money. If it wasn't for the app Earnin, I would not have been able to take this trip because I literally went with no money. I had no money. I went on 3 hours of sleep and no money. That's what I did. Plain and simple. I had nothing. But I did it. I suffered for months afterwards because of the fact that, like I said, I had no money. It was just a crazy, crazy, crazy trip. But so worth it. Poor planning, but a lot of fun and really worth it. I met, like I said, amazing people. It was just so much fun. I got to go to Bar Sinister, which was on my list of places I really wanted to go to in Los Angeles. I will say LA was very different from what I expected. I've been to California before. I've been to San Francisco, but I'd never been to Los Angeles. And I will say it was different than what I was expecting, but not in a bad way. It just wasn't what I think because I'd had such a idea of it in my head from movies and stuff, like glitzy LA, like, and it's very different. I didn't have a car while I was there, so I was walking pretty much everywhere. I walked to the venue. I walked around the area by the hostel that I was staying at. I will say there were times where I didn't feel completely safe walking around there, but I just kind of stayed very alert and went with it. But it's definitely a different place. I did love New York, though. New York, fell in love with it, which I never thought I would. I was never that person who, like, I need to move to New York. Never that person. So, yeah. Other highlights this year, my little cousin is having a baby. My baby cousin is having a baby. And by baby, I mean she's like 27 years old. She's not a baby, but she's the baby of that side of the family. So her and her husband are expecting their first baby actually in the next couple weeks here. And not only any baby, she's having a girl. And we have not had a girl on this side of the family since she was born. She was the last girl. Every one of my cousins who's had a baby since then has had a boy. So we are over the moon excited about her having a girl. And she's having a little girl named after my aunt, who is her mother, who passed away a couple years ago, who we've all, if you see this bracelet on me all the time, I am not a religious person by any means, but this bracelet was the last gift that my aunt gave me before she passed away, and therefore it does not come off my body. So yeah. Moving on to happier things, not trying to get depressing, it's exciting. Other good things that happened this year, my little kitty nephew's Whoppers and shenanigans. At some point during this video, you'll probably hear Whoppers walking around and just whining. That's all he does lately, because he needs to go to the doctor and get fixed. But my aunt had a stray cat come into her house and have kittens, and they managed to find homes for most of them except for Whoppers and shenanigans. So my brother convinced her to bring them up to our house without my dad knowing. And he was going to take them. He's got a YouTube channel where he talks about hockey. He knows a ridiculous amount about hockey. He's super passionate about it. His channel is Say What Zach if you have any interest in hockey. Anyways, he wanted a cat, so he had them brought here. He originally only planned to keep Shenanigans, and we were going to find a home for Whoppers. That has clearly not happened. We have ended up with both little boys living with us. Whoppers has been our problem child, and I don't mean that in any way of his own fault. He was just very sick when he was first brought here. But he's doing better now. He's a big, chunky, heavy, whiny boy. And we love him. He's so noisy, oh my god. So yeah, we now have a Whoppers and a Shenanigans here with us, and we love them dearly. They're the sweetest, cutest little boys on the planet. Very thankful for them. Last really good thing that happened this year, I did get a promotion at work. That was super unexpected, and I didn't even know about, but apparently my boss had told me about. I just didn't realize it was a promotion. She had told me that it was a job title change, like a job classification change, which basically was what I was already doing. And the job that I have now is still what I've been doing. It's just being promoted and changing my title. So that was really unexpected and very helpful. The time when it came was a time when I was really, really struggling with money and was really, really having some issues. So that has helped a lot. There are days when my job gets really, really stressful and my anxiety is just through the roof because of it. It's not a horribly hard job, but I will say that that promotion really, really helped. I will say that. It always helps to have some extra money, because I was really struggling there for a little while. So yeah. As far as 2019 goes, I did accomplish a good portion of my goals. I had a list of about 13 things I wanted to do, and I managed to get through 7 of them, I think. Possibly 8, but at least 7, I know for sure. One of course, the small weekend trips and the trip I played were 2 of the big ones. Another was to get Boo Boo, this little stink pot right here, to the vet. She's been having some issues with her legs. I had to get her in. I had to figure out what was going on. That was a relatively cheap vet trip. It was a long day. It was a good 5-hour day. Traveling there, being at the office, waiting, bringing her back. It was a whole fucking day event. But it now means that I know it's wrong and I have to save up $2,000 because she needs some surgery. I'm very close to being halfway there. I have been scrimping and saving every penny and spare dollar and anything else I can for months and months and months. I am almost at $1,000. So close to halfway. So that was a big thing I need off my list. It's probably one of the most important things on that list because this little girl is my world. Her and her sister are my world. They're my babies. So that was something I was really, really needing to get done and wanted to get done as soon as possible this year. So yeah, that is leading into another thing this year, but at least I got her in. I found out what's going on, and we're gonna get her fixed. Acting 2 and 3. I wanted to take my acting 2 and 3 classes. I had taken acting 1 in Chicago when I finally accepted the fact that that was what I wanted to do, and I knew that I needed to stop just pussyfooting around and doing all this crap that I didn't want to do just to get by and avoiding what I wanted to do with my life. And it's part of the reason I came back to Michigan in the first place. I knew I wanted to be acting. I knew I wanted to be working and focusing on that. And I hadn't done it in the first couple of years I was here. So I finally booked the class for myself, registered for acting 2, took that class, loved it, and was really happy with it, and took acting 3. So I managed to get through both of those. I didn't get my acting on camera class done, just because money hasn't really allowed me to lately, especially saving with her and some of that. But I did get through a couple. On top of that, I've started auditioning, which has been a whole new adventure. A lot of self-taping auditions, which I'm still trying to get the hang of. But yeah, so that's a couple more things off my list. I've actually started working on that and working on making that a reality. It's been slow, but I'm working on it. And that's really the most important thing. What else did I want to get done this year? Working more on my fitness, working on eating less processed foods, which I have been slowly getting better at. I haven't gotten as far as I want to, but I have been working on eating more whole foods, eating more vegetables that I was having issues with, as far as making myself eat them. And fitness wise, I was doing really, really, really well, until my car decided to crap out on me right before the summer started, or probably midsummer. My car crapped out on me. I haven't had access to a car whenever I needed it like I used to when I had a car. So I haven't been to my gym in months, and I really hate it because I loved it there. So hopefully that's something I can remedy in the new year. I don't want a new car. I don't want another car, because I don't want to be spending money on a car. I really miss public transit in Chicago. I didn't need a car. $100 a month, I can get anywhere I needed to go. It was great. I hate cars. I hate how much money they cost. I see it like having a house. Houses and cars are money pits. I don't have any desire to own either. I do not. I do not. Yeah. So, on to the 2020 intentions. I worked on these the other day. I really wanted to make sure it was a concise list, of goals that are actually attainable. I didn't want to make it a huge list of things and then, making it harder on myself. I really wanted to make sure things I could do, things I could stick to, and things that were the most important to me. So let's take a look through those. My number one is one big week-long trip. I have 2 weeks of vacation time at work. I want to use them to travel. I want to actually go somewhere. I don't want to do just a staycation. My dream goal this year would be to get to England for a week. Whether or not I'll be able to save up the couple $1,000s I'll need to do that is a whole other story. But that would be the dream goal. Let's put it this way. If I can get to England, Finland, or Estonia this year, I would be flying high. That would be amazing. Those are my top 3 on my list of places to go. England, Finland, and Estonia. Everybody wants to go to all these tropical islands I have zero desire to go to. But England, Finland, and Estonia, top 3 right there. If I could get to one of those 3, I would be a very happy person. So yeah, one big week-long trip somewhere, preferably out of this country. So wish me luck with that. If I can get that done, I will be a very, very happy person. Number 2, doctor and dentist. Doctor and dentist. I have had insurance through my work for years. I have not been to the dentist since that happened. I have been to the doctor. I do need to find a new primary care doctor because the doctor that I was going to is somebody that majority of my family has gone to for years, but he was near impossible to get a hold of. His office phone would constantly not work. I would try and call for refills. It was just a pain in the butt to try and get a hold of him for anything. So I stopped going. Excuse you. So I stopped going, and I stopped with my prescriptions, which was a stuff I took for my skin. I have really bad hormonal issues with the acne. So I was taking medication for it. My skin was looking pretty damn good. But I stopped that because I couldn't go to the doctor anymore. I couldn't get a hold of him much anymore. So that has fallen by the wayside. And so that's why my skin looks as rough as it usually does. I take really good care of my skin. I use really good products. I make sure I keep it clean and moisturized and all of that stuff. But everything that goes on with it is all internal that I need medication for. So yeah, I need to get to the doctor. I need to finally break down and find a primary care doctor. Preferably a female. So, in the new year, that is something that needs to happen. Number 3, cut back on processed foods and sugar. So, the good thing about being vegan is that a majority of the time I am out in public, either at my work or at restaurants or shops and stuff with friends and family. And a majority of the sweets and snacks that are around are not vegan friendly. So that comes in handy, especially at work where I know there's constantly candy and there's constantly donuts and snacks and treats and candy and all this other stuff. It's just so much stuff all the time. But I can't eat most of it, so that's a good thing. It comes in handy. So I can be at work and know that I'm not eating a ton of candy or junk food because I have very, very little self-control when it comes to that stuff. So I'm very proud of the fact that when I transitioned fully to vegan, that I stuck with it and knew that I could avoid those things. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I have cut back on the processed foods a lot, but I do still eat quite a bit of them. I will say that. I will say the processed foods, as far as the meat alternatives or a lot of the dairy alternatives, help a lot, especially in the beginning, to switch over. But I'm working now on kind of cutting back on those things that help me really switch over fully to not eating anything from an animal, and making sure I'm incorporating more of the whole foods and vegetables that I need to eat and my body needs. I've also been taking a vitamin, which I've talked about. They're empty. I need a new one. They're coming in the mail. Holier vitamins. These are the bomb. This is them. Holier. I love these vitamins. I actually got a super nice letter from the lady at Holier the other day. But yeah, these have been a game changer and so much help for me. Just to make sure I'm still getting those extra vitamins and nutrients that I need. So that is something I'm continuing this year and working on a lot. Hey, baby boo. Hey, princess. Next thing is building up. Excuse you. Next thing is build up my vlog and blog. So I have started this before with the blog, and then things kind of get out of hand or crazy here at home with work or stuff that's just happening here. It makes it more difficult. So I'm really trying to focus on making it a priority this year. Especially the vlog part. I feel like vlogs are just more interesting and I really enjoy that part. Especially since my main goal is to share some fun stuff, but also to focus on showing vegan and cruelty-free options, especially when it comes to a budget. I am not somebody that has a lot of money by any means. I mean, my family has been really kind of had a really difficult go of it since at least 2001, when the economy first crapped out. And it hasn't really gotten a whole lot better since then. So, money has always been something I'm super conscious of, and I don't spend a lot of if I don't have to. And the bit that I do spend, I try and spend it very consciously and stock up on things. And sales are my friend, cashback apps are my friend, Afterpay is my friend. So when I do splurge, I'm usually using those kind of things, like where I get cash back or I can pay in installments. Because I feel like people tend to think that cruelty-free and vegan means a lot more money, and it really isn't. Especially when it comes to your groceries, I think it saves you a ton of money. You get healthier food for way less money, and I think it's amazing. And I feel like that's a super big lie that a lot of people believe about going vegan, is that it costs a lot more money and your grocery bill is going to go up. And if you do eat a lot of the processed stuff, it very easily can. But if you really focus on eating proper foods and healthier foods and cooking more, which is something I hate doing. I will admit that. I hate cooking. I've really made a conscious decision, and I know that my taste buds and my budget benefit more from putting that little bit of effort in. And honestly, meal prepping is something that I never did before until earlier this year, and it saved me so much money and so much time, and I get to eat a hot breakfast every morning because of it. It's amazing. It will change your life. And then cruelty free again. There's so many options out there now. I don't really understand why people don't pay attention or make that switch, and that there are still companies who are doing things that are horrible, and they don't really benefit us in any way. So I really want to make that the focus of everything that I do is on a budget, cruelty free, vegan options. So that is something I will be focusing on a lot this year. Let's see, where are we at? Number 5? Number 5 is this little lady's surgery. Huh, boo-boo. Yeah, so she is in desperate need of her surgery. Like I said before, I'm about halfway there to the full surgery. And the doctor that I had talked to has said that he doesn't think they'll do both legs at the same time anyway. So I'm about to this amount that I need for one of her legs to get done. It's expensive, but she needs it, and she's my baby princess. And I've gotten a lot of people being like, why are you going to spend that much money on your cat? She's almost 10 years old. Are you crazy? I'm like, I'm not going to let her live out her life in pain. This is my baby princess. And if it was a person, we would do it. So why would I do it for my baby? She's my baby. So yeah, $2,000 is worth it. Because my little girl won't be in pain anymore, huh? Yeah. So, I mean, I've saved a lot of money. I'm almost to one leg. Over halfway to one leg, huh, baby? I'm getting there. We'll get you surgery as soon as possible. Yes. Ooh, we're good, done. Okay. Next thing on my list, audition. I've started auditioning this year. I've actually worked on some cool stuff. But I really, really, really need to amp that up a lot. That is something I'm really focusing on this year. I love acting. I always knew that I wanted to do it. I was just so scared and had so much self-doubt that I did not do it. I didn't put myself out there. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't have the confidence in myself to do it. So I didn't do it. I took these classes and I realized that I could do it and that I enjoy it as much as I thought I would. And it makes me happy. So I really need to buckle down and get those auditions in and really start going for it more. I've made a lot of progress this year, and then I feel like this coming year I have the opportunity to be even better. And I hope that I keep finding joy in it. Because honestly, what I'm doing now, I don't have any joy in it. I just do it because I need to do it. It allows me to do the things that I want to do. So if anything, my current job, although it's not an ideal situation, does allow me the money to do things like go on an occasional trip, pay for her surgery, occasionally buy myself clothes or something that I really like. So it's really just there as a means to an end. Along with the auditioning, acting workshops are on my list of things to do this year. There are a couple that I really wanted to do this winter, but just with the holidays and stuff like that, I didn't have the extra money. Acting workshops. I really wanted to take the cold reading for auditions, and I really wanted to take the acting on camera because I know that it's very different. I've already worked on a professional set once this year as far as like a television set, but I would really like to get more of that experience and more of that guidance, especially since the lady who teaches those, I believe, is the teacher I had for 2 and 3, and she's an amazing actress. She's really cool, and I feel really safe in her classroom. She makes a really great space for people to really go for it, and she's very encouraging. She's awesome. So yeah, auditioning and acting workshops are high on my list of priority this year. Um, Small thing that's kind of a big thing for my dog and for me. Um, I added it kind of last on my list just because it was something I wasn't thinking about, and I'm like, I need to make this a really good intention this year. Is walking Barkley. My puppy Barkley. He's not a puppy. He's a big, big boy. He is a gigantic baby. He loves me. He will only walk with me. Everybody else he tends to pull for. They can't really handle him when he's out walking, but he walks really well for me. So I know that this year I really have to make it a priority and make a conscious effort to walk him more often. So yeah, leading into my last thing, which is the overall arcing theme of the year that I need to do, which is work on my physical well-being. Work on physical well-being. It's right there. And this doesn't mean like losing weight or anything like that. Nothing cosmetic. That's not what I'm trying to think of the word. But more of just working on my own physical and mental well-being. I need to work on my mindfulness more, and I need to really focus on quieting my thoughts, my mind with my anxiety more, and I do need to work out more. I need to be more active. And I want to find ways to do a couple different things. Like, I really want to do my yoga again. I love yoga. I think it's really relaxing and calming. I enjoy it. I need to make that a priority. I need to find something really physical that keeps me on my toes. That was the best thing about the gym I was going to, was that every day you came in, there was a new routine of what you were going to do. It was new things keeping you, going. It wasn't the same old boring routine and the same machines every day. And I was doing really well with it. So I need to get back to that. And without a car, it's a little bit of a struggle. But I need to find a way to make it work, because I need to do it for me. I feel better when I'm doing it. I feel more confident when I'm doing it. So yeah, that is something that is extremely important this year. My overall well-being. I want to focus on trying to do more, a little bit of meditation before bed, just to quiet my mind and really just become calm before I go to bed. So yeah, it's gonna be a hard one, I'm not gonna lie, because my anxiety and my brain are always just full blast. Really annoying. So yeah, that is my basic list of 2020 intentions. I call them intentions and not resolutions, because I feel like, I don't know, just something as an intention is better. Like, it's something you intend to do and focus on yourself and do good by yourself. You deserve to do good by yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I got the intentions from my mom. My mom said intentions, and I was like, I like that. I think it's a little bit more serious than just like, oh, New Year's resolution. So yeah. So what are your 2020 intentions and resolutions? Do you have any? I think it's a really great idea to have at least one. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be the smallest thing that is the best for you. But yeah, leave them in the comments or let me know. I would love to hear them. I'm sure that I could probably use a couple of them myself. I have some good stuff here, but I would love to hear about anybody else's ideas of what they want to do this coming year. This one feels pretty big. It's like the start of a new era. It's 2020. The 20s are here. It's not the teens anymore. Come up with those ideas, those intentions, and really focus on making this year about you. I've finally realized in all these years that being a little bit selfish is okay. You have to be taken care of before you can take care of everybody else. So, make sure you're doing that. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have everything, that you want. So go for it. Make it happen, people. You can do it. You're awesome. So yeah, go for it. What do you want to do this year? Tell me what you want to do. leave them below. Leave me your intentions. What are you doing this year? Other than that, it is officially New Year's Eve. I'm hanging out here with the princess and the other babies. My mom and I we're gonna go out this year. There was a couple cool events, like a Motown event that was coming up that we were gonna go to. In the end, we just decided, you know what? We're lucky that we're all together this year. There has been some serious shit going down in this house with my family. And we are genuinely super, super lucky to all still be together. So we just decided we're going to spend tonight together. Right now, my brother, my mom, my dad, and his girlfriend are all out at a birthday dinner for a family friend. It's her birthday today. Today or tomorrow, I can't remember if it is. I can't remember if it's January 1st or the 31st of December. Anyways, it's her birthday dinner. I was going to go, but they are going to Black Rock, which, if you do not know, is a steak restaurant where they literally bring a piece of dead cow out on a really hot rock so you can cook it up however you want in front of yourself at your table. Like I said, that's where you're gonna sit. Cool. Yeah. So it's one thing to go and deal with it with one person, but the fact that it's going to be an entire group of people and I'm going to be surrounded by the flesh of dead cows that didn't deserve it, I don't think I could handle it. So I didn't go. I wish her a happy birthday. I hope this year is wonderful. I really like her and her husband. I really love their little girl, but I couldn't be around that. So I did find out, though, courtesy of my brother's girlfriend, that they do have vegan options now as far as their burgers. I think they have a black bean burger, and they also have the Impossible burgers there now. So I'm hoping maybe I can convince somebody to bring me back a burger because I'm really hungry and there's like no food in the house. So I didn't want to be surrounded by all of that around me, but if they could bring me back some food, that'd be cool. We shall see what we get. But yeah, I just didn't want to be surrounded by that tonight. It's a new year. I want to be a little selfish and work on the fact that that would bother me. It would bother me. So, not doing that. So right now, I am just at home talking with you guys, drinking some wine in my birthday wine glass from a couple years ago that's falling apart. It was for my 30th birthday, but this is all coming off. I've used this glass maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. I just love that it's all glittery and gold. It holds an entire bottle of wine. I don't have an entire bottle of wine yet. I didn't fill it all the way up, but yeah, I'm really bummed that this is all coming off. And then later tonight, we are playing games and hanging out with family. It's going to be a good night. We have the cat wine. I don't know if this will come up on there. Cat wine. And this one, cat wine. Yeah. These are for the girls. These were a gift from my brother's girlfriend, Liz, for the girls for Christmas. I held on to them until tonight because I figured we can have a wine toast at the end of the night, or end of the year. And then the girls can have some wine with us. Maybe the boys will have a little sip. You gonna share this with the boys? You gonna share it with the boys? Yeah, we'll share it with the boys. They're a little underage, but we'll let them have some. Cool? It's basically liquid catnip, so it's really cute. So cute. I think they're adorable. I never would have spent the money on these, but the fact that she did, I'm totally gonna take pictures of this shit. It's so cute. It's so cute. So yeah, that's my 2019 wrap up. 2020, I'm hoping will be a good year. I think every year we hope the new year will be a good year. But honestly, 2019 didn't have a great start. So I kind of didn't have a great feeling about it. The fact that I managed to get as much done as I did, I'm pretty proud of myself. I try not to focus on the shitty stuff that happened and focus more on the positive stuff that happened. And honestly, I can attribute the good things that happened, mostly to IMX Chris Corner. He had these amazing meetups. He has this incredible music that just inspires so many, and I met so many amazing people because of him, and he was a huge part of why this year was good. So, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that 2020 is good to you all. Um, yeah, leave all your shit in 2019 that you don't want to deal with anymore. Leave it behind and really focus on yourself this year. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to do anything you want to do with your life, regardless of what anybody says. So I really hope that you are able to work on your goals, work on your dreams, and move into this new year with good intentions. And yeah, I just hope that they're happy in the next year. Because if you can be happy, genuinely happy, like, you're already winning in life. So, Happy New Year. Cheers, everybody. I hope this is a great 2020.